Next we're going to need a Olfa cutting knife, some styrofoam. Any styrofoam will do. It has to be sort of this like lighter, airier styrofoam, not the dense things, because we want it to be able to float in our solution. And then some packing tape. So what I'm going to do is cut out a piece of styrofoam to fit this, and then tape it on to the surface of this, and then you'll see that shortly. This is all taped up now, and I've just reused one of my handles because we're going to be suspending this upside down in the acid, and we don't want the piece to be unable to be picked up out of there without getting our hands or gloves all dirty. So this is ready to go in the acid now. You want to make sure that all the tape is really tight to the surface of your piece. And if you have any little areas that look a little bit unfinished or have a little dot and you don't want that, in this case I have a few little dots here. They're not really going to be part of my eventual piece, but if you were going to have them in a spot where your piece needs to be nice and clean, you can color those in with a little bit of Sharpie, or red nail polish works really well as well. So I've just colored those in, and now I'm ready to go into the acid. And just to show you that I practice what I preach, I've got my mask, I have my goggles, my hair's tied back, and I'm wearing gloves. I don't have latex gloves at home, but I have gloves, so I'll be wearing these while I do the work with the acid. I never thought I'd be filming in my bathroom, but here we go. I'm doing this in my tub, and I've got a mixture of ferric nitrate, which come in a crystal solution, so you get little crystals of them, and you mix 1 part of crystals with 2 parts water. Now if you want your solution to etch in a little slower, you can do this. You can add in a little more water. So I'm just going to open up my solution, and then I will take my piece all set up and suspend that in the solution, and very important, close it back up again. Okay, we're going to leave it there for about 45 minutes. And again, you want to have a window open while you do this, or possibly outside on your balcony or in your backyard. And then we'll check on it in 45 minutes and see how it's looking and see if we need to leave it for a little longer. This etching solution that's mixed up here is pretty strong. So the last time I did one, I did about 1.5 hours. And that was a bit too long. So we'll check it in 45 and see where it's at. Okay, I've actually let this sit for a little bit longer. Now we're going to take it, and I'm just going to take a quick look at it. Basically, you don't want to see any puckering on the piece, and I don't. It actually looks pretty clean. You could leave it if you want a deeper etch, but I think I'm going to take it out for now. And now what I'm going to do is neutralize it by putting it in baking soda. And you can see that that's all sizzling up there. That means we're neutralizing the acid. I'm just going to swirl it around. Sometimes we'll do this with baking soda mixed with water, but in this case, I'm just using straight baking soda. So we'll do that, neutralize. Make sure to cover this back up using your gloves. Make sure it's securely on there. And then usually that'll store for a few months and still be good, depending on how much etching you're doing. So I'm going to rinse this off and take it off of the styrofoam and throw out the styrofoam and the tape, and then I'll join you again at my bench. So here we go, here's my piece, and I'm now going to take the press and peel resist off. Now, if you had orange oil, you could use orange oil to very easily wipe this off. Make sure you wear your gloves and then wash it afterwards and dry it nicely. I'm going to use a little bit of 600 grit sandpaper on the glass plate, because if I use my hand, it's going to get into those grooves that are nicely etched and take away my etch. And that's also the reason why I'm using 600 versus maybe 220 or 320, because that might take the surface down too much. So I'm going to do that and I will show you the result. And there we go, I have my beautiful etch. Now if you want it deeper than this, it's really going to depend on your etching solution. So you may be able to leave it in for a little bit longer, but just watch for the puckering, because if you look at another piece here, this one right here, you can see there's some puckering on the edge here, and we don't want that. I mean, it is a look, so I guess if you think it's cool, then do it. So now this is ready to cut out, and I'm going to use liver of sulfur to darken the inside of my etched area and make that stand out a lot more. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll update you with a photo of the finished piece in the comments. Take care, everyone, from the Devil's Workshop.